And welcome back here. Appreciate you hanging out while we took a little break, grab some water, grab some refreshments. Here we go. We're into game number 2. Honestly, Tedium, we got to talk about that one a little bit. We're going to take a look at the draft in just a second, but how did Bigopes lose that from where they were? Like, what happened, right? Because it looked like Feng Mao was about to just run the rest of the game, and then all of a sudden, Team Jpie turned that right around, and the train just kept going from there.
Look, it's not even... There was a crazier comeback earlier today. 9 objectives down in that first series. So comebacks, maybe we just need to get used to the comebacks in these matches. But really, I am not blaming this player. I want to be very clear. I'm not blaming this player. I am a certified Muriel hater. I don't think that character does anything. Okay, it does do stuff. It shields well. It can rotate around. It can like do a little split push strategy and then come to the fight. But I really just think that a Richter on the other side was just far more effective. You can really set up a fight. Got multiple forms of CC. Muriel really just has those shields, and if anyone builds even one item that counters shields, like I just feel like she's not very good. And eventually, when there's a gadget and they have Primal Fang,
right?
What's a shield going to do? You're going to burn through that shield like that. I don't like that character. And I think if they had a more CC heavy support or more of a sort of peel heavy support, they could have just really snowballed further.
Yeah. And
the Feng Mao really could have went off because he almost was able to get like a quadra kill in that Orb Prime fight. And the Muriel came in, and then, Muriel just died right after him.
For sure. So, time and a place for Muriel. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hop into the draft. I believe we've got it ready here. No more time wasted waiting for these games to start. So, curious to see how the draft goes this time. Are we going to have another gadget, another Zara's pick? Not sure, but there's the Crunch ban right away for Team Bigopes. Not really sure about that one, but, Crunch is strong. He's still feeling pretty good after the patch. I enjoy playing him. But I don't know if it ever really warrants a ban.
I think they just, didn't think that their own Aurora ban was the right move earlier. Maybe they want to try and leave Aurora open so they can first pick it, which might be what they're doing here. So maybe that's what they're aiming to do. But yeah, I tend to agree that I don't think Crunch is strong enough for your first ban.
Right.
Gideon, on the other hand, as we said, Gideon, he definitely is. He's a staple pick.
Gideon's a good ban, but like if you don't know who to ban Richter if you're not going to pick him, or ban Steel, ban somebody who's heavy on the CC and just get him out of the way. Even like banning Countess. I feel like Countess has been very strong as well. Mage is shining after the patches. It just seems like they tend to chunk people, but there's going to be the Zaris pick for Team Bigopes, so taking that pick away from Team Jpie. Always like a good Zaris, right? Zaris can help you, especially in the later stages of the game. Picking engagements and just following your Zaris tends to result in a lot of good outcomes as long as you're executing correctly. But kind of want to go back to my earlier question, right, TDM? We asked you, we're seeing an Aurora pick. Love that. Curious about the second pick. There's Richter. All right, so a couple CC heavy picks for Team Jpie starting off here. Back to my earlier question, the true ADC, the actual number 1 ADC, I'm gonna have to go with Neft, right? And I don't know if the chat's gonna agree with me. Cold, man. Cold is like a close second. Jay's up there. He's pretty solid. North, you're playing well right now, but I'm not sure how you do against Neft. And then the jungle question, Nugslit, man. I hate playing against Nugslit. If you ever play against Nugslit Kalari, good luck. It's just, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, he is also quite good. As I said in that last game, I have so much trauma from the old days with, loot sticks coming in and stealing my entire jungle on his Crunch. He was terrifying, and he made me think like Crunch was some unstoppable jungler. I don't necessarily believe that anymore. And now I do tend to agree with you. A lot of these Kalari players that come in and just terrify me have kind of taken the spotlight.
Yeah,
look at this comp from Bigopes. I'm sorry, look at this. 3 huge like initiators, 3 huge damage dealers, 3 huge CC heavy big boys. All these characters are scary in a lot of stats that are important: damage, CC, tankiness.
Yep, I don't hate the Howie pick either. Actually, Howie's a great pick. He's kind of got 2 getaways from this type of team, right? He can mine and boop them away. He can boop the Zarus out of the ult, you know, trying to get his team, or you can just counter ult to try and negate all of the shenanigans going on inside the Coliseum. But the ban is going to be on to the Grim for Team Jpie, and I'm not really sure about that one either, because I don't feel like Bigopes did solid, but I don't feel like he was cooking that much.
I think Bigopes really liked playing Grim, and I think he was doing really, really well. And, you know, they have picked a lot of things. The only things missing are their mid and their ADC, and Grim can play both roles. Bigopes seems to like Grim. I don't hate the ban personally. I think it's, you know, a good like blind ban for, it's going to make it's going to make Bigopes have to change his character. But one thing I do want to point out about that Howie pick, Howitzer is really strong. I love Howitzer, but I think his hardest counter is Steel. All 4 abilities coming out of Howitzer are blocked by the shield wall.
Yep.
He can't do anything once that wall goes up. He's kind of like a Sparrow in that sense. Sparrow ults, throw the shield wall up, and her ult is just completely negated. You can do that to a Howitzer as well.
So it sounds like it might actually come down to the awareness of the Steel, right? And understanding, you know, saving the shield wall is going to be very important. I see a lot of people just kind of, as Steel, you just want to throw out your combo, you Q, you right click, you throw out your E, you know, walk away. That's your job's done. But hopefully he's got that player's got the heads up. Whoever's playing Steel is aware enough to realize that the E is very important in this game. As we got the Feng Mao pick for Team Jpie, there's the Belica coming out for Team Bigopes and Drongo. So I have to assume that the Belica is going to be mid. So Nick Nads, if he's still mid, is going to be playing the Belica, a little bit more standard. The Feng Mao almost worked, but you know, I think the mage presence just needs to be there, right? Mages are incredibly strong this patch. A lot of the new items for mages, if you haven't explored those, you got to start taking a look, because the damage potential is absolutely insane. And then we've got Team Jpie. That's going to be North on the Twin Blast yet again here. That's the draft. It has concluded. Let's get into game number 2. We've got it loaded up. We're ready to go. And let's hop in for Tedium.
Repeat that.
Oh, I was just saying, game number 2, man. We're loaded up in here. How we feeling?
Oh, I am feeling good, and I think Team Jpie is feeling good as well. Jpie on this Howitzer, a character I really, really love. Is one of my favorite characters in pretty much any MOBA. I love what Ometa did with the new ultimate. He's just so much fun, and he's just going to be able to run down a Belica, especially if LTV and him can combine and like force a Belica blink early. I really like him into Belica, though Belica, you know, he's got a big body, so she can stun him pretty easily. But once he's in the air, he just gets to shoot her for free.
Yep, and I like the Drongo pick, right? Because Drongo's really slippery. Then you got the Steel to kind of complement the slipperiness of Drongo. Drongo should be able to get away pretty handily. And I know that Mama Joe tends to be solid on the Steel as well. But similarly, right, the dual lane has 2 melee supports, so it's going to be a little bit of back and forth. Once they hit level 6 is when the real action happens. Jiu-Jitsu on the Grux yet again, but we've got the Aurora in offlane, so I'm curious to see how the early lane goes. And he did opt for that Q yet again, just to pull the entire wave in. But Creed is going to be trading better against the Grux, and the early trading for Aurora, I don't know if you played it yet here, but she's absolutely nuts in the early trades.
Yeah, she essentially has a free second ability, a free third ability. Look there, trees minions at her tower line so that they don't run in, and she doesn't even have to get poked by them. But now she's just running straight at Jiu-Jitsu, dealing damage. Jiu-Jitsu should hit level 2 first, which will allow him to have a bit of a power play. But Creed, you know, he's behind in the last game as well. Jiu-Jitsu might overextend once again.
Yeah, Jujitsu just opting to shove that in or try and shove it into the tower. Really wants to, but Creed doing a good job at delaying the minions, but they are eventually going to go in. But it looks like we've got the Feng Mao, a little bit of action going on in mid. I think Howitzer for everyone. There's 3 people kind of surrounding the Feng Mao and Howitzer right now. I'm not really sure what's going on there. But it looks like just a little bit of action from the Bellica stepping up on the Howitzer. Dual lane North and IR Bestest stepping up, shoving that wave into the tower. And Creed playing safe. Just everyone playing safe right now, right? No one wants to really make the mistake, and the first blood still not happening yet, but LTV looking for a gank in the offlane.
Yeah, and first blood might come out from there. Jpie down 1 level into Nick's Nads, but just hit level 3 and is actually going to have the advantage and be able to take that 1 river buff. Is he gonna burn down to this red? He is. Creed and LTV combined for first blood. It's usually the Grux who's watching someone walk away and bleed to their death, but this time Feng Mao gets a little bit of revenge. It gives him a taste of his own medicine.
Yep, love to see that for Feng Mao, is getting him online early. You want to gank a lot as Feng Mao, right? So being able to get that first blood makes the jungling part easier, clearing camps a little bit easier, but LTV might need to respond there. But we have a scuffle in the dual lane. Bigopes stepping up. Not a whole lot going on there. Is North and Bigopes both out of mana. So there's only just autoing going on. Not really much that they can do to continue the engagement. But I think that's going to result in a back as Jpie still chilling out here in mid. And we got the first blood, but not a whole lot going on as Creed opting to disengage. And man, that is a slippery Aurora.
This character, I haven't gotten to play her really. I think I played her once, and she seemed good, but everyone else is making her seem even more powerful. Creed going to get away with a sliver of HP. Oh, never mind. Same thing happened to her. Jujitsu, though, probably going to get traded back.
Yep, the blink for blink coming out, and I think Jujitsu, no, he's not going to get away. But he did manage to get the bleed on Aurora, and we did see that exact instance happening. LTV managing to answer right back, though, and getting a second elim for his troubles. Feng Mao coming online early is just fantastic for them. But, you know, solid action here, mostly just in the offlane.
And they've been focusing on this side quite a bit. I think they know that Jujitsu seems to step up a little, you know, far pretty consistently. And he got punished in the last game for it, and he's getting punished again in this game. LTV focusing on this lane and potentially going to be able to get this first mini prime once that's available by doing the same thing again.
Yep, and I don't see it, but Jpie might have been forced to use blink, or he just used a mine to get away from the ADC rotate there. Looking up top, it looks like Jpie does still have his blink, so both mid laners kind of staying relatively safe. You know, maintaining that CS advantage. Nick Nads looking to get a little bit aggressive. Doesn't quite have level 6 yet, so not sure how much he's going to be able to do. But Mounts of Salt now rotating. Jpie's in a little bit of a trouble here, but Aurora rotate as well, giving the Great Wall of China to allow Jpie to disengage. And not a whole lot going on from that as North looking to start getting some damage. LTV coming up behind Bigopes. I don't think they have any idea that this is about to happen. As LTV all of a sudden in the face, Bigopes, that is a dead ADC. North getting himself on the board. Mama Joe forced to blink, but it doesn't matter as the Richter hook comes out. There's another elim. North taking out Mama Joe, and 2 unanswered kills for the side of Team Jpie.
LTV is all over this map. They don't even need the Fang Tooth yet. Instead, LTV is just going to, you know, clear every single camp, make sure that continues to get a lead.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that last game. It's like sometimes, okay, it's good to get the early Fang Tooth, but if you're in that position and you can steal camps from your jungler and get even, or the opposing jungler and get even further ahead, sometimes that's the better decision, because it just negates any sort of power spike that they might have. He's already ahead. Might as well keep it that way.
Yeah, and Feng Mao isn't really known for his objective pressure, right? Feng Mao is really known for his farming and his ability to just eliminate squishies and just dominate a team fight. So he doesn't really need to, focus on getting these objectives because eventually he's going to get into that phase of the game where he's even stronger than he is now. So have this lead, this farm lead is really, really important.
For sure. Now hopping back onto the dual lane, Mama Joe looking to get something going. Jiu-Jitsu missing the ground and pound there as Creed is definitely trading well. Jiu-Jitsu, you're not going to get away from this just yet. He's going to force Jiu-Jitsu all the way back. Jiu-Jitsu trying to trade as best he can, but there's another route coming out. I think Creed is just going to secure this elim. Jiu-Jitsu up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. He's gone, and that is another elim for the side of Team Bigopes.
Yeah, but LTV is in the area as the enemy team was looking for that Fang, not Fang Mao, Fang Tooth. But enemy jungler is level 6. LTV is only level 5.
And the ult coming out, utilized for North. Mount of Salt, kind of in a weird position. He's in the pit. Blink is forced to be used. Can they go ahead and pull the Fang Tooth? They're going to, as the first Fang Tooth looking like it's going to go to the side of Team Jpie. Still positioned for it is Team Bigopes, since they're looking to come in, getting the Fang Tooth, but it doesn't matter here. As Bigopes not trading as well as he could. 1 HP Belica taken out. IR Bestis. Bigopes also getting taken out. Mama Joe is low as well, and I think North will be able to clean up that. North securing that elim for LTV. Getting a lot of kills coming out of that, and man, momentum is starting to build for Team Jpie.
Yeah, I don't really like looking at my enemy team's jungler and seeing that they're a 4-kill Fang Mao with the first Fang Tooth. That's definitely scary to look at. And even in the off lane, Creed is winning this lane as well. It's looking, once again, sorry, not once again, because I guess last time actually Jpie was behind. This time they're ahead, and that's pretty scary because this team comp from theirs, I think, is pretty good at team fighting. Richter, Fang Mao, and Aurora here are just going to be able to deal so much.
Yeah, this is kind of looking like a lot of the lanes are on fire, right? If you're Team Bigopes, and what is your comeback? What is your comeback condition here? And I would think that they start looking at mid a little bit more, as Nick Nads might be the win condition. He's been farming. He's got some elims. I think he's pretty solid on the Belica. I haven't seen a whole lot of his Belica, but I know that he's pretty solid in mid all around. So maybe focusing more on that mid lane, as Jiu-Jitsu having trouble trading against or trading into this Aurora.
Might be getting ganked again too, as LTV is in the area. But Jiu-Jitsu saw him on the ward and likes to back away, as does LTV. The other side, though, looks like a mid lane fight here in the river.
Yep, Jpie engaging. Nice boop coming out there as well. Blink forced to be used as Nick Nads getting away, but LTV's in there. He's going to get that elim, and there is a 5-0 Fang Mao on the board, while Creed is currently pressuring the off lane. There's going to be no help for Jiu-Jitsu, but Creed still low enough where he's going to be forced to back. The dual lane also looking good. IR Bestis very close to that level 6, and that's going to give them the all-in potential. But the level 6 coming out for Bigopes, and the Orb Prime on the board. LTV actually quite low. He needs to respect.
He's gonna Jpie.
Damn, City Prime. You don't want to die to this guy.
Oh my god, he's gonna Jpie. No, he's good.
Jpie kind of leave him dry there.
Oh, I thought the missiles were coming. All right. All right, back to serious stuff here. I do think another potential for Team Bigopes is this Zarus. Yeah, he's not, as far ahead as the enemy jungler. He's behind, in fact. But Zarus is able to, get stacks with his ultimate, and if he's able to just get a bunch of really effective ultimates, he's really good at team fighting with that cage, and then also getting those stacks, he can start dealing a lot of damage. He can really start to turn a game around.
Yeah, completely agree. But Jpie, he's caught without any sort of mana, has enough to boop away, and I think this might indicate a disengage. But Mount of Salt, utilizing the ultimate onto LTV, really wants to get that bounty. Ult used from Creed. Jiu-Jitsu now in a weird spot. Ult coming out there from the Howie. Jiu-Jitsu forced to blink out. Nick Nads still in position to thwart, and we got 4 here in mid. Excuse me. About to be 5 as North is looking to rotate as well. And the grouping stage is starting to happen. Team Jpie looking very strong going into this 12-minute mark.
I said it. That Zarus is going to be able to, you know, maybe get a couple stacks online with his ult. But he had a little bit of trouble getting onto the howitzer, and then even more trouble getting onto the Feng Mao. He used the ultimate. Feng Mao can just leave. He needs to have really perfect target prioritization. Really, he can only go on, I think, the duo lane.
Realistically, at this point, yeah, and even the duo lane's going to be slippery, but Bigopes now stepping up. Mama Joe forcing the blink out of North. Bigopes still has to be careful as there's the blink from Richter getting caught in the skewer. He's 1 HP. There's no way he lives. Trying to trade better against North, but I think North is going to try. No, Jpie coming in from behind. Surprise how he steals it. And Mama Joe getting out with a blink. But this might just signal the second Fangtooth as it's coming up. LTV fighting in mid, but I'm not sure that it matters as the pressure currently mounting here for Team Jpie.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Mountain of Salt was able to get that mini prime while they were having that fight in duo lane. So they were able to deal a lot of damage there into the mid. Jpie just, you know, forcing them back, making sure his tower doesn't go down, making sure his jungler doesn't go down either. And Mama Joe holding this wave for Bigopes. Fangtooth just came back up. That's where I expect the next fight to be.
Yep, and Creed is now pushing out the junglers. This might signal the go. Jiu-Jitsu close behind, but Howie there to zone out Jiu-Jitsu, just not able to get anything going there. Fangtooth is up. The rotations are starting to happen as it looks like Team Bigopes really wants to set. They need to get something going here because it's not looking good, right? LTV still that 5-0 Feng Mao. Creed managing to farm. He is on farming duty right now. And that's going to be Jiu-Jitsu taken out by LTV. That's a 6-0 Feng Mao. This is getting scary if you're Team Bigopes.
And Creed didn't rotate, unlike Jiu-Jitsu. So Creed probably going to be able to get the tier 1 tower in the off lane. Jiu-Jitsu rotated a little bit early and then was picked off completely. And now a huge pull from IR Bestis. The jungler is gone.
That's actually massive as their might. They removed the ability to smite. LTV able to get in there. Huge hook, man. If I'm that Richter, I'm definitely hooking the Fangtooth. I don't hit those. So shout out to the Richter for nailing that. And Creed also getting the T1. That is just a lose, lose, lose for Bigopes. Unfortunate.
IR Bestest is living up to his name. He are the bestest. What a hook. Absolutely making this game look even easier for Team Jpie.
Yeah, and it's like the longer this goes on, right? The longer that Feng Mao is available and he's just stealing jungle. He's rotating from lane to lane. He's getting more and more kills without any answer. This guy needs to die, right? You need to stop the momentum in his tracks. Otherwise, at some point, he's just going to eliminate the entire team, right? We're going to see a penta from this type of Feng Mao. This is the scariest situation to be in.
Yeah, and also, look at the second item that just came out for Feng Mao. Envy. And Envy, still like it used to on the old patch, you dash and you deal more damage on your basic attack. But now it silences as well. He can kind of just choose anyone on the enemy team and go like run right at them, silence them, and then kill them with a full combo.
Interesting. So Envy's not something that I build that much, so I'm not completely sure how it works, but hold that thought. That's going to be an Elim on Jiu-Jitsu. Man, he is just kind of up there. No wards on the map, maybe a little bit out of position. Mounts of Salt also getting eliminated. There is another unanswered kill for Team Bigopes, and man, this is 2-15. I've seen some score lines, but this one's not feeling too good.
It's definitely not feeling too good at all. But on the plus side, the silver lining is a lot of those kills are on the Feng Mao, right? So killing him, especially if it's your mid laner, especially if it's your Zarus, or it's of course your ADC who gets that kill, then this game can look really different. That's a huge bounty that could potentially swing the game and start adding a lot of damage onto someone who wants to deal that damage. 9-0, and he's already working, I believe, on the perforator.
Yep, that's a 9-0 Feng Mao. As soon as he gets perforator, Pain Weaver coming online, you're not getting away from him, and you're dead. But I've been in these situations before, right? You think it's winnable, and then LTV just eliminates the jungler. Now he's going to eat all of your jungle, and there's another elim on to Mama Joe. Nick Nads looking to do what he can, but now Creed in the back line. Pressure continuing to mount here. Creed may have overextended. He's in a silence. Does he get out? No, Creed does go down. So a little bit of life here. Finally, there's a skewer through the wall. Beautiful. I don't think Jiu-Jitsu is going to make it out of this one alive. Feng Mao now back in there looking for something. And in these scenarios, I swear, Jiu-Jitsu going down. Oh my goodness. It's a massacre.
It is an absolute massacre. Jpie on this side of the tower just pokes down anyone who thinks that tower is a safe haven. Does get his blink forced out by Mount of Salt. At this point in the game, Mount of Salt isn't trying to get blinks with his ult. He's trying to get kills. He's trying to get stacks. So in the end, that's a loss of the ult.
That's a huge L for sure. And in these scenarios, I've been in them. You think it's winnable, but the only thing missing is the support getting the bounty on the Feng Mao. Right, that would be the icing on the cake right now, and that's always what happens.
Yeah, that's an instant F1, right?
I feel like you have to at that point. Goodness. 3-19 again. Its predecessor, right? It's always winnable. Let's assume it's always winnable, and mistakes could happen from the side. They're not super tanky, right? You've got the Richter. That's about it. But Mini Prime now. That's going to go to LTV. Of course, he's going to take it. I think he's 11-0 right now. We'd have to double check the scoreline whenever we get a chance. He's 10-0. So this is looking a little dicey here. Third Fang Tooth coming up. I'm not sure that they can even contest this.
I don't think they want to really. Really, all they're going to do is just give more and more kills to LTV based on the history of this game. Mount of Salt trying to get something going onto Creed, but he's probably safe.
Honestly, if I'm Team Bigopes in this position, Big Prime is coming up, right? We know that they're going to get the Fang Tooth. I'm calling the retreat and to go for Big Prime. That is your option right now. But the fight going on in the jungle, Bigopes desperately trying to get away. He gets skewered by the Richter. There's LTV coming for the assassination. And Bigopes is now a free trip back to the fountain. That's going to be the third Fang Tooth, and not enough damage to really contest this. Jiu-Jitsu is going to walk up anyway with Big Nads, but huge Richter pull, or huge freaking Grux pull. The ult coming out from Jpie. They're able to disengage. Big Nads takes out LTV. That is the person that you want to get that elim, as we're showing some life here on Team Bigopes.
Oh, that was huge for Nick Nads. Getting that kill might turn his game around. I expect the next damage item that he pulls out is going to be able to nearly one-shot North. That's how much gold that LTV was probably worth. It stays a little bit too long, goes right back in, trying to get something going on to North. Pinched into that pit, and he goes down.
Unfortunate. I mean, it's great that Nick Nads gets it, right? Your Bellica now is a little bit bigger, but I don't know it's enough. I don't think it's enough. North is huge. Jpie has stayed a little bit long, and he gets punished for it. Bigopes does secure the elim on Jpie, so at least some answers here. But LTV, man, he's still in the game. He's 11-1 now.
Yeah, and he's respawned. Might not have a and bounty, look who's low. It's Nick Nads.
Oh no. Not like this. Do they get it? I think they do. They do get the Fang Tooth, so there's that at least. But the blink coming out from Mama Joe, the follow from Creed, Nick Nads choosing to disengage, Bigopes down again, Mount of Salt down again, and if I'm Team Jpie, this is an Orb Prime angle. This is a free Prime right now.
Yeah. No blink on the Steel, no blink on the Bellica. The Steel does still have an ult, so a team fight that comes out around this Prime could look pretty good for them. But I just don't know if they're going to get here on time when everyone is still low. This Orb Prime should melt to the damage of Team Jpie.
Yeah, and North is, if we can get an item check on North, if he's got Demolisher, if he's got Sky Splitter online, this thing's melted. It's gone. Unfortunate for Team Bigopes, it's just not possible to answer. You can't answer this, right? You could try, but as there's a hook, Richter managing to get the skewer onto Jujitsu, and now having to defend an Orb Prime push is Bigopes, and man, this is not looking good.
Yeah, and silently, as we saw on that scoreboard, North is 6-0. So it's not just LTV who's looking scary. Died once, but I assume he's just going to be back to his old shenanigans. Jpie gets taken out for overextending.
Jpie in a weird spot, but like I said, that Howie gives him the get out of jail free card if he can get it off. And I think he's got, no, he doesn't have True Silver, but there's a nice hook from the Richter. Mount of Salt has been deleted. He's off the board. And North looking to go in. Bigopes now caught out of position. Up against the wall. Beautiful wall from Creed. And that's a dead T2, possibly an inhib, as they're continuing to pressure the advantage.
So IR Bestis did manage to put that hook onto the Zarus. He has been on point with these hooks, silently securing so many kills for LTV. 1, 2, and 13 for this record. That's exactly what you want to see from the Richter.
Huge gameplays coming out. Love to see the Richter hooks. It's one of those things that, like, either the Richter's hitting all the hooks and you're winning, or he's missing everything. But you know, this is one of the games where he's hitting them, and I don't know how you defend this at this point, right? It's going to take a huge mistake from the side of Team Jpie, but unfortunately, every single one of their teammates right now is a raid boss. And how do you beat 5 raid bosses?
I don't think you can, but you can maybe pick them off one by one. Bestis gonna go down to a chop from Jujitsu, but all 3 inhibitors have just fallen, and now their base doesn't look as safe as it once did.
Yeah, Jujitsu's he's going in there. He's in a 1v3. I don't think it's gonna go well. It doesn't. There's the ult coming out from Mama Joe, trying to get something going here. Bigopes stepping up as well, but Mount of Salt does take out LTV, so trades are actually going even here. North is low with no mana, so potential for maybe a reverse, but Jpie staying alive and managing to utilize that Howie ult. Nick Nads still up and available. Mama Joe is going to go down. Nick Nads trying to be the last remaining of hope on the team, but I think with this wave crashing, it's going to be just a little bit too much. North has no mana, but he's got the damage. The wave is massive. I don't think Bella can defend it, and this is more than likely. There it is. That's the game, TDM. Beautiful.